Doesn't sound that healthy. This is my latest project. It's a Yamaha Raptor, and this one has an interesting story. This used to actually be a bush, and I'll put a picture right here. And this thing was literally a bush. So I bought this with a Honda TRX 90 that I already did a video on. The dude had the 90 for sale, and I sent him my little ad that has my phone number on it because it's just easier that way. And he's like, hey, I got some other stuff you might be interested in. So this dude lived in the middle of nowhere. Actually, it was a kid. And he was like, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes off a dirt road. And anyways, I get there and I'm like, yeah, all right, so show me the 90. I look at the 90. I was like, all right, where are the other four-wheelers that you were telling me about? And he points over there. He's like, hey, there's one. And then this is what it was. I'll put the picture back up again. And I was like, oh, my that's a bush. Where's the four-wheeler? And there was another four-wheeler. I think I have a picture of it. I'll put it up. I think it was like a Kawasaki Prairie. And so anyways, as I'm looking through the bush on this thing, right, I'm checking it out. And I'm like, how much you want for it? He's like, $200. So, I mean, it had all four wheels. The plastics are there. The seat is there. So I said, $200, let's do it. Now, as you can tell, it's rough. But for the circumstances of a complete plant growing through this thing, it's actually in pretty good shape. I think once the bush got as big as it did, I think it started protecting it. So I don't even know what year this thing is. And I don't even know much about Yamaha Raptors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is a 5. So this is a 2005. Now it looks like, I don't know if that's the OEM carburetor or a Chinese one, but it is there. It does look like the case has been JB welded maybe, or something's going on there. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, I think that's JB weld, but hey, can't hate on them. You know, I've seen worse for sure, especially for $200. Now he told me that this one had like a wiring problem or something, but I think these is this. Yeah, I think this is the key switch right here, because this would go right there to the key switch. So, you know, we're missing the headlight. Ah! This guy just got me. I'll tell you what, that plant that was going through it was freaking got all kinds of thorns on it. But the plastic isn't that bad. You know, that this does have this crack here. And I guess once you can look past the spray paint, you know, I think we might even be able to get the spray paint off. But I think that's the only crack I see. Maybe we're missing a bracket here. Yeah, some more JB weld or something. No rear brake. I keep getting four-wheelers with no rear brakes. Or just like, the parts are just completely missing. The DVX was like that. The Polaris 500 was like that. So, now it's too bad the seat foam here is all jacked up. Now, looks like we got some custom wiring going on here. So these look like the solenoid. This is the ground maybe. This is the positive. This is a relay. So where's the plug for this guy? This has a plug somewhere. Oh, here it is. So, carburetor, I don't know, let's see, is it C's? No, it goes up. All right, but before we get started, 80% of my viewers are not subscribed yet. So make sure you subscribe, because probably the last video was this YZ 450 that I tore down, and I'm waiting on all the parts for it. Got the engine all tore down here. We're gonna do a complete rebuild, and it's gonna be epic. I got new plastics. Everything's gonna be brand new. So make sure you subscribe. So anyways, let me get I might even be able to clean this up. Let me get all the wires hooked up here correctly and see if we got any power to these lights. So I have our solenoid hooked up. The solenoid situation looks a little haggard, but it's only because this wire's on here for some reason. I made a little jumper wire for this ground here, and anyways, we have our jumper cables hooked up. Now this fuse right here is blown, but I took out the spare. This one was blown, so anywho, let's hook up the ground here, see if we got a light. Look at that. Dang, brother. I guess let's see if it turns over. Nothing. Maybe I can pull clutch in. Nope. Huh. I got the starter button out and it broke. It was not, serviceable from what I could tell. I tried every which way and I tried being careful. But it looks like this blue wire actually does get grounded out maybe. It's got a black wire on the one end and the blue with the black right here. Now I went ahead and bypassed our little slider kill switch to make sure that, that's not an issue. And so I'm gonna hook it back up and see if we can get any starter button action going here. Here's our two wires for the starter switch. Let's see what happens. Look at that. Hey, it turns over. That's pretty crazy. Doesn't sound that healthy. Interesting. Let's check the oil. Let's see what's going on there. So there's oil in it. Doesn't look like there's any water, but maybe it's hard to tell if there's water in here right now. Let's pull this plug out and then let's check for spark real quick. All right, at least the plug was tight. Hoping there's no water getting in. There's barely any gap on this spark plug. All right, let's see what happens. Let's do a compression test. I have the compression gauge hooked up. Let's see what happens here. I guess we're supposed to do wide open throttle too, right? Almost 100. That's not terrible. I mean, considering what it sounds like, and the reins are probably stuck from sitting or becoming a bush. So I'm gonna put some PB Blaster down the Okay, so I put some PB Blaster down the cylinder. I turned it over a couple times. Now I don't know if this has a decompression mechanism, but let's try and see what we get now. Like 95. Probably less than ideal. So it's about 95, which is less than ideal, but I gotta find out if we have a decompression on this thing. I don't think we do, but I'll double check. Okay, so we had about 90 PSI compression. We have spark. So this thing's like on the verge of maybe it runs, maybe it doesn't. So let's try some brake cleaner in the carb. Let's see what it does here. Oh, wow. Come on. soon as I take the power or like stop trying to start it with the starter button, it seems like it wants to just shut off. But if I keep, it seems like if I keep the wires together, so the fuel is on. Maybe it's on reserve. Yeah, the fuel's on. So it could be an issue where as soon as it's firing up, it's sucking in water or bad gas through the carburetor. So, you know, hey, it's started up. It's taking me quite some time to get to this point. I just took the carburetor with the cables, or the cables with the carburetor rather. And I do think this is the original Mikuni carburetor. Look at that. Can't beat that, buddy. All right. Look at that. Moment of truth. Look at all that junk in the bowl. Bunch of rust junk. Now the big question is, oh yeah, look at the what is this? Look at the float here. That needle is stuck, dude. Alright, well this stupid screw here is stripped the head out and it won't come out. So let's move on to the pilot. Just to see, oh that's not even the pilot. Surprisingly, this pilot jet is not clogged. And I can see a perfect hole through the middle. That's good news. Looks like the whole entire emulsion tube is coming. It's been a common thing lately for me. Now we gotta figure out this damn float for some reason. Yeah, that needle's still stuck in there. Whew, man. Well, oh wow. I think we'll be able to clean it up. And there's usually an O-ring behind this seat here, but this looks like a dicey screw to take out right now. I gotta be very careful trying to pull this seat out without ovaling it. See this O-ring right here? Look at all that. Oh, look at all that crap. So we'll clean this up, put a new O-ring on it, clean this all up, throw it back together. All right, I cleaned the carb really good. Now, I don't have any of the choke cables or throttle cables hooked up, but let's see if it'll run. Come on. can't believe it's idling perfectly because I just randomly set the idle. I had that whole entire idle screw out. All right, what's going on here? Might need to have this a little higher here. I can't believe it's not smoking. Guess there's no throttle. We just got the cable here. That engine runs pretty good. I don't think we have enough fuel in here to really pressurize it. I could be wrong. Let's see what happens when we do this. Oh, come on now. What the flip stuck? Oh, the whole entire carburetor popped off. Interesting. Yeah, look, the carburetor popped off. Well, that'll do it. I don't even know if I had it on there the whole way or not. But yeah, I can't believe this thing ran that good. Probably should check the oil now. Or again, rather. Barely on the dipstick there. Barely, but hey, there's some oil in it. That counts, right? Okay, like 3 or 4 days has passed, and I think I spent maybe around 200 bucks. So we have a new battery here. This air filter and this oil filter were a kit. This is the rear caliper. I have not opened that yet. And then this was all a kit right here. This is the carburetor, the air box to the carburetor boot. Does not have the clamps though. And then this is the boot for the engine to the carburetor. We have a new key switch, the new multifunction switch. We got a new seat cover, and I think that was everything we needed for this thing. We do need a petcock because that thing was froze shut, but you can see there it's got the screws. We might be able to take it apart, clean it. I'm not sure yet. And we really do need a chain, which I have a chain sitting around. So maybe we'll put one in, maybe we won't. Let's go ahead and put all the electrical stuff on, battery, the key switch, and the multifunction. All right, so that hole is for this little nub right there. That goes just like that, so it does not twist. The plug is not locking. I'm gonna have to trim a little bit off this little tab right here. think that might work. Let's try it now. Yep, that helped. Let's plug this one in. Perfect. I got all the electronics, I think the way they're supposed to go, and routed correctly. Now I did just make this new positive terminal or positive battery cable because the other one was a little too short from, you know, being modified and new ends put on it. This battery's from Amazon and it's, I think it was like 30 bucks. So I will put a link in the description. Usually I have pretty good luck with these. Oh yeah. Our starter's working, our starter solenoid rather. Now there is a little tab right there on the boot and a mark here. Now I'm not sure if the Chinese people have oriented it correctly, but that would be the way it should go. All right, looks like it actually fits really good, which is surprising. Now the one thing I do wish it had was the clamps, but I guess here we are. But you can see it fits on there perfectly. I put this hose on, and all of our wires that I routed fit in here perfectly. This one's a little tight. So I'm gonna find some clamps, some screws, and then we'll throw an air filter in. Now this was even missing the little cap, but I have one off of my YFZ that we're gonna rebuild here. So I'll just take these bolts and this little clamp and we'll throw it on the new one, or the old one rather. Okay, I think even the brakes even work. Tires are obviously flat. Okay, so this is the old rotor. You can see how freaking warped that thing is. I've never seen a freaking rotor warp like that. And here's the one that's off the YFZ that we're gonna swap on. It's a little warped too, but you know, just a little bit. So we're gonna throw this one on. Here's the moment of truth. If our new brake rotor fits on, or brake caliper rather, which I'm not sure what's going on here. I bought the wrong one. I bought one mistakenly for a Warrior, and it is different than the Raptor. Seems we got a big gap here. Okay, so unfortunately I tried bleeding the brakes, and you can't really tell, but the piston is stuck in here. I tried pushing air and PB blaster through here to push it back out and get it unfrozen, but here we are. I broke my good snap-on snap ring pliers, so this is not worth my time. So I'm just gonna order another one, and I'm just gonna tidy everything up and see if we can go take this thing for a test drive. All right, so here it is. It seems to be running all right. Take it for a spin, you know. So I'm not sure what happened to the footage, but anyways, I was contemplating on just trying to sell this thing as is and do a quick flip, but I decided against it and wanted to go through the rest of it and make sure everything was tip-top shape. So in the next clip, we're going to be looking at the front end and getting it straightened out. Okay, so since we're waiting on parts, let's go ahead and tackle this guy right here. This knuckle, you can see, is... Hold on, I gotta stop the robo back.
Cleaning paused.
Okay, so you can see this knuckle here has these bolts, and they are welded on, and this is what is giving us play in our steering. So I assume that maybe the threads in here are just messed up now, or maybe the bolt broke. So basically what we have to do now is take these, grind these two welds off, and then back those bolts out. I think what we just need to do is tighten them up and maybe throw some thread locker. Let's make sure it tightens up first though. Oh yeah, that seems a lot better. A bunch of red here. Okay, that's way better. Now we still do have play in the tie rod ends, which we are waiting on new ones. So I guess I'll go ahead and pop those off. We'll start getting the sprockets off, chain off. Now another thing is, so we'll take the chain off, and then this right here is just a piece of all thread they have in here, and that is not correct. I ordered new bolts, and the chain adjusters are not in here, which I believe is why also these tabs for the carrier are bent in. So basically we're gonna take this all apart, get the chain off, the sprockets off, bada bing, bada boom. I can't believe there's still freaking thorns in this thing, vines. These things are spiky as hell.
In the marketplace looking for a deal, found an old 5 Raptor, man, it's barely real. $200, thought I'd lost my mind. This quad so beat, it's one of a kind. There's a damn bush growing straight through the rack, like it's been chilling in a jungle out back. But I'm a backyard wizard with a wrench and a laugh, gonna fix this beast, make some serious cash. Raptor 350, you're a wreck and a half. Bush in your frame got me dying to laugh. Clean the carb, new seat, brakes that don't suck, slap on some paint. From a weed tangled mess to a shine that's legit. Raptor riot, I'm flipping this shit.
So look at all this rust. I'm gonna go grab some Rust-Oleum rust remover, spray that on there, we'll pressure wash it, and then we'll dry it and hit it with a little spray paint. Same thing with the carrier here, this is really greasy. So we'll get that taken care of as well. So this is what I got. This spray paint is not usually what I use, but I had a Lowe's gift card. But if you've seen some of my other videos, I like to use this stuff on beaters like this, and it gets all the rust off, and you hit it with a little spray paint and it makes it look brand new. So we're gonna go ahead and spray this on, and then we'll pressure wash. All right, I wheeled this thing out here and I sprayed it some more. Yeah, I had it inside. I did it with the brush, and then I was like, you know what, we got to pressure wash this thing anyway. So I went ahead and sprayed it down too. I have loosened up a bunch of the rust with the wire brush, and it's been sitting here for a while now. So I think we're going to start pressure washing.
$200, yeah,
All right, so next day, so you can see the rust. Honestly, it didn't do as good as it usually does, but you can definitely tell it gets that rusty look off. And sometimes it does put this white stuff on the plastic, but it does come off. But anyways, you can see some of the rust is off here. Definitely looks way better on this side. And on the swing arm, looks way better. Now, obviously all the rust is not gone, so I'm gonna get my wire wheel out off my grinder and just start knocking everything off. Now, you can see this little part here. I did spray paint it a little bit, and that'll give it that, you know, OEM look, or at least that freshened up look. And this is just metallic satin nickel. So I'm gonna start wire wheeling now.
Cruising the marketplace looking for a deal. Found an old 5 Raptor, man, it's barely real. $200, thought I'd lost my mind. This quad so beat, it's one of a kind. There's a damn bush growing straight through the rack, like it's been chilling in a jungle out back. But I'm a backyard wizard with a wrench and a laugh. Gonna fix this beast, make some serious cash. Raptor 350, you're a wreck and a half. Bush in your frame, got me dying to laugh. Clean the carb, new seat, brakes that don't suck. Slap on some paint, gonna make a quick buck. From a weed tangled mess to a shine that's legit. Raptor riot, I'm flipping this shit. Yeah. Carb was jammed up like it ate a mud pie. Cracked it open, now it's ready to fly. Seat was trash, looked like a raccoon's thrown. New covers on, man, it's styling like chrome. Brakes were garbage, wouldn't stop for a bet. Now they're gripping like my dog on a vet. Spray paint's cheap, but it works like a charm. This Raptor's my hustle, gonna do no harm. Raptor 350, you're a wreck and a half. Bush in your frame, got me dying to laugh. Clean the carb, new seat, brakes that don't suck. Slap on some paint, gonna make a quick buck. From a weed tangled mess to a shine that's legit. Raptor riot, I'm flipping this shit. Yeah. Raptor riot, I'm flipping this shit. Yeah. That bush in the chassis, man, I couldn't believe. Like this quad was trying to be a damn tree. But I'm the guy with the tools and the guts, turning this junk into profit, no ifs or buts. Raptor 350, you're a wreck and a half. Bush in your frame, got me dying to laugh. Clean the carb, new seat, brakes that don't suck. Slap on some paint, gonna make a quick buck. From a weed tangled mess to a shine that's legit. Raptor riot, I'm flipping this shit. Yeah. $200. Yeah, I took the chance. Now this Raptor's ready for a victory dance. From a bush choke disaster to a profit so sweet.
All right, next is our front sprocket, and I've never seen this. This front sprocket has some sort of rubber thing on each side. I want to get this stupid thing done. I get like halfway through a project, then I'm over it. It's not the most beautiful, but I think it'll work. All right, I got this RK racing chain. It's allegedly a real one from Japan. So this is like 35 bucks, pretty good price. Oh my gosh, this thing is giving me a run for my money right now. This caliper does not fit correctly. When it's on there and mounted, it does not cover the whole entire rotor. So I guess I ordered the wrong one. And, you know, these front pads were, you know, basically about to be metal on metal. And the brakes were working. So I decided to put new pads on it. But of course, this side, this thing right here, this slide is all seized up. So the only problem now is this does not slide that easy. And so when these pads do wear, things might bind up here, but I think it'll be fine for now. I soaked it in PB Blaster and it should be fine for who knows how long. So I've already installed one side with the new tie rod ends. And I want to show you the other side here. So these tie rod ends are actually better than the crappy ones that were in there before, it seems like. They are labeled right hand and left hand, which is nice. The nuts do, you know, spin really nice on there. But there is one caveat, and that is the castle nuts. I had to grind the castle nuts down. You can see I didn't do a good job on that one, but I had to grind them down because they're so tall. This is the castle nut that was on there before. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to pop off the old tie rod ends and swap these new ones on, and we'll mount it on the bike. All right, so I'm bouncing all around here. I just got the carburetor all back in, and I ultrasonic cleaned it because it was, I don't know, it was running a little funny. So I finally got an ultrasonic cleaner, and that's all hooked up. And I screwed with these brakes for like an hour and a half earlier, mostly, 100% mostly because this pin right here is seized, which is what allows the caliper to slide as the brake shoes or brake pads wear. And anyways, I was trying to not order parts and spend money, and I was trying to use what I got, but I don't know, I took a break after I did all that, and I can literally buy both brakes for $26. So while we're waiting on the brake parts, I did order a new fuel valve, and you can see this one comes out on the right hand side here. And that's how it's supposed to be for the Raptor 350. But I ordered this one. This one has the spigot coming out on the bottom. And I don't know, I think that'll just work better for the fuel line. And it came with some new screws, fuel filter, stuff like that. All right, so first we need to drain the fuel out of here. There might even be some water. Oh, look at the junk that's coming out. Look at all the junk that is getting past that crappy filter. This is just some crappy filter I had. Oh my gosh, look at all that stuff getting in there. No wonder I had to clean the carburetor again. That's crazy, dude. Okay, so this is the new petcock, and you can see here, these are the little filters we were missing on our old one. And this new one also reorients it straight down. I was thinking that's going to be a good situation, but I guess we'll find out here. All right, some parts came in today, and I got the brand new calipers on the front, and I already had the rear master cylinder. I put that on earlier. I've been waiting on the rear brake caliper, and I'm still running into an issue. The caliper is not going over the brake rotor entirely, and we have a spacing problem. So I've done a little research, and you know, I don't think I put this in the video, but this axle nut is backwards because this hub is too long. Something is not correct here. I think what it boils down to is this bearing carrier is out of a Warrior, and this axle might even be out of a Warrior. So I think that is what is causing our brake fitment issue, but this brake is for this bike. So I'm gonna go ahead and bleed it and get it working. And you know, this will work. I can put some spacers in here for now, and this will work for, you know, going up and down the road. But I guess I'm gonna have to break down and spend 50 bucks on a new carrier. I'm hoping that the axle is not out of the Warrior, and you know, there's a conflict of parts here. All right, here's the part we've all probably been waiting for, and that is this paint stripper to get rid of this ugly blue paint. Here, we're just gonna try and not get it on our freshly spray painted front A-arms. Okay, you can see here it is starting to work. So as soon as it's time to start scraping and brushing, we'll get all this off. It's starting to loosen up for sure right now. All right, it's definitely coming along here. I'm just using some toilet paper, just kind of wipe everything off here. And it's looking really good. All right, that looks way better. Got all the spray paint off. I also had to take these little warning labels off because they peeled. But I still need to pressure wash. There's a little bit of small stuff left, but it looks way better. Now the last thing we have to do is put a headlight on here, and I think I know where I can find one. So this is gonna be my next project, and it looks like it has a good headlight on it. So just pop it. All right, I hope this stupid headlight fits because I just broke that bolt off. Okay, so here's the moment of truth. If this is the same guy. Yeah, I think it is. Yep. Just gotta make sure we get it plugged in. Ah, yes. 2 headlights. Guess that's how it's supposed to fit. Looks pretty good, I guess. All right, let's take this thing for a spin and put the seat on. I do want to mention before we do take it for a spin, I just went ahead and put some spacers in here for the rear brake. The caliper is not on the brake rotor the whole entire way. I believe this carrier is for a Warrior, which is different, which apparently has a larger rotor, and it is what it is. I'm not spending any more money, more time on it. It's good enough. Choke on. Here we go. Reverse is working. All right, so this thing's running pretty good. I'm sure you heard it in the video of me riding it around. It's making all kinds of noise, and these wheel bearings are shot. I was trying to get away without doing them, but they're pretty bad. They clearly make way too much noise. This back rear bearing carrier, it still definitely needs the correct one so the brakes are not, you know, having this misalignment situation going on. And what I will say is, I think I might even like this machine better than the 300EX. This thing's got more power than the 300EX, that's for sure. It's got good ergonomics on the seat. It's a great trail quad, got reverse. And the best thing about this machine is it's 6 speeds with reverse. So I think the Raptor 350 also is basically the same thing as a Warrior 350. I've learned there's a couple different things here. But I think this machine is slept on. Actually, I think there is a pretty good following on the Warrior. I think there's a pretty big Warrior page. So just to go over everything we did new chain and sprockets, rebuilt the carburetor, rebuilt it / cleaned it, put a new air filter in, new petcock, a new rear brake caliper, and a new master cylinder. I did put these wheels and tires off my YFZ. And so I already had these. We'll probably, value these at $100. I did put new calipers on the front. I didn't show that because, well, I didn't. I put new tie rod ends on. Put some fresh grips. I had to replace this little guy, this little clamp. A new multifunction switch, new key switch, and a new seat cover. I think that was about it. So let me know what you think about the Raptor 350. I say I'm impressed. I might even get rid of some of my 300EXs and keep this. I think this is a pretty good platform. So I'm not sure what the fate of this machine is yet. Obviously, I still have a few things I need to do to it. I need to do the front wheel bearings, the rear wheel bearings, or carrier rather. Overall, it's a good looking machine. This one's not perfect, but it'll do. I'd also like to know what you guys think about the custom songs I've made the past couple videos. Let me know down in the comments if you like them, or if you don't like them, if they're too cheesy. I think they're pretty funny. I think they're cool, and there's no copyright strikes, so you can't beat that. So I almost forgot a pretty crucial thing here, and that is how much money do I have in this machine? So I've done all the math, and I've included $100 for the rear wheels and tires. And I did go ahead and order new front wheel bearings and a rear bearing carrier. And the math out to $583.92. So in case I forgot anything, we'll just call it $600. And I paid $200 for this machine. So that means I'll be in it for $800 total. And I think this is a $1,500 machine all day long. Especially once I get it all squared away. And maybe I'll post it for $2,000, come down to $1,600, and no less than $1,500. If I can do $1,600, it's double my money.